Welcome to the Talk Unmentionables podcast, an inclusive space for real, unfiltered conversations about topics we often shy away from. From confronting imposter syndrome and redefining your professional brand to navigating the complexities of marriage and parenthood to coping with grief. Each episode explores life's unmentionables with openness, empathy, and authenticity. This is a space where honesty meets growth. At the heart of co-parenting is the child. So how do you make sure that your daughter feels equally loved and secure in both homes?
Well, I can't make sure that it's equal because I don't live in the other home.
Fair.
I can only account for my home.
So what do you do in your home?
So in our home, it's just space, right? So how do we move through the space? I'm like a bachelor.
So hold on, space being the physical space?
Being the physical space of the house.
Okay.
The physical space of the house, right? Right now, my brother's living with me, so her room got occupied, and
much better word than I would have used. Overtaken.
Yeah. No, it's occupied. It's occupied because again, we're still family. Like this is our family house. My mom bought this house 50 years ago, right? Where and this is how I kind of teach my daughter that we all got to look out for each other.
Yeah.
When we in need, or when we just need a respite, a break from our regular life, then you always want somebody around that you can really count on, that you can really lean on. And I desire to be that person for my family, right? So as we navigate our space, that's now me and Parker's space without mom's influence in this space, because we all lived in this house at one point. What's her routine? She come in, take her shoes off. All right, Dad, what you got to eat?
Does she throw them on the floor or she, okay.
No, we have order. So take them off on this rug, on this mat, especially around this time because we get a lot of leaves. Take them off right here. Put your book bag down. Put your stuff down. Go get something to eat. Wash your hands.
Hold on. I would hope she washes her hands before eating.
Go wash your hands. Yeah, wrong order. So wash your hands. Get something to eat. Start homework. So this is how our routine generally goes. What is after homework? Do you have dance or no dance? So sometimes I was putting together this puzzle at one point, and then she just had no interest in puzzling with me. Sometimes we play Fortnite. She said, "Dad, when are you gonna let me teach you how to play Fortnite again?" Mm-hmm. We do. We watch anime together.
Okay.
That's our twist.
Okay.
Right? Like we watch a lot of Demon Slayer.
Yeah. I do like Demon Slayer. Yeah. My boys are a little terrified of it. Right. They like aspects of it, but then they're like, "Mommy, I'm scared." But my kids are 5,
yeah,
so
they not yet.
Yeah.
By the time, so that's something that we really bond around. And it's funny because oftentimes I'm sharing thoughts of other conversations that I have with her, and I'm asking her what she think, asking her about her day, trying to make conversation. Mm-hmm. With a 9-year-old. It's interesting. It's challenging.
I feel like it is at all ages, is what I hear from parents. Yeah. I don't know when
to make conversation.
Yeah. Because when you get the response of the one-word answers, how was school? Good. What did you do at school? Played outside. It's just like, you're giving me nothing.
We also got to change our questions.
Yes.
How do we elicit a solid response? Well, we have to ask a question that forces them to give more than the one-word answer.
Give an example of a good question.
I've been struggling with this myself, right? So I'm often saying, okay, what happened in school today that made you smile? Can you identify a time that you were kind today?
Those are good.
Things like that, right? That I've learned, and I'll be forgetting in the moment.
Yeah.
So I'm like, how was your day? Good. What'd you do? Nothing. You got homework? Yes. What'd you have for lunch? School lunch, You know what I mean? That's how it goes. So I forget it myself sometimes.
Yeah.
So, in the car when I'm waiting for a bus to pull up, I gotta say, all right. And sometimes I'll Google questions. I'll chat GPT questions to ask.
Okay. What's something your daughter has taught you about co-parenting?
Does it have to be about co-parenting? Can it be about life?
Since it's you, we can do life.
We can do life. Because I think this leads into the idea of co-parenting as well. My daughter has made me very patient, like extremely patient. Mm-hmm. And the way that I kind of observe her like I said, watching this human grow has taught me to observe differently, has to really see the world more objectively and less subjectively, not using my intellect to have ideas of superiority, which directly impacts my co-parenting relationship. The things that I want to instill in her, I have to live.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's so important.
So, and again, it's the separation with me and her mom that allows us to have a more individualized relationship. Oftentimes when you have kids and both parents are in the house together, there's a default parent. And it's not until the kids get older that they start building relationships differently with both parents. So within that, because of the separation and our relationship becoming much more close-knit, much tighter, that the level of patience that I thought I had, I didn't really have, right?
Let's unpack that a little bit more. So what are some things that she has done or has been a part of your lives that has you reevaluating your patience?
So it's the way that I respond to her.
Okay.
Right? So oftentimes I reactively respond to mostly her attitude.
As many of us do.
Right. So it's, yo, what's up with that? Like, you know, all of these kind of things. And more recently, I've been practicing. All right. Well, why does she have an attitude? Are you hungry? I'm hangry, Dad. All right. Well, that's that. But that's still not an excuse to have an attitude. But I feel you. You know, we can mitigate that. We can work on that. Mostly around emotions. How are we showing up with these emotions, and what do I need to do so that my daughter can like me later? It's more than anything, right?
Like you later in that day or just
like
in life?
Me later in life.
Okay.
Like want to confide in me. I want my daughter to be like, I'm gonna call my dad for this thing. You know, like I'm calling my dad. I want to see what my dad got to say. You know, all right, well, you telling me this, let me see what my dad got to say. You know, that's the kind of stuff I want. Like, and I think in order to do that, there's a level right now where I have to allow her this autonomy just to give me stuff, as opposed to me always telling her something, like always correcting, you know. After a while, it's like, damn, dog, I can't do nothing right, you know. So it's this year for homework has been, I just want to check it to see if it's done. I'm not even checking it
to see if the answers are right.
Nope.
Okay. So
or to see how she do not care about neatness. I'm like, dog, like how can somebody read this? You know what you submit is a reflection of you. This is how people judge you, right?
So you're a lecturer.
Yeah, all the time. You know, the way in which you present is the way in which people receive you. Are you okay with that? So yesterday, she sent me and her mom a text message. She was with my mom when she was doing her homework.
Oh, she has her own phone?
No, she sent it from my mom's phone. She did have her own phone, but when she got in trouble, it got taken away. So she was with my mom. And she sent me and her mom a text message and said, "Hi, Mother and Father. I'm finished my homework. I don't want nobody to check it. I know it's a representation of me." I was like, man, let me see that homework. It's like, let me see it. You know, did you put your name on the paper? Did you put the date on it? Like that kind of stuff, right? And, you know, now she's just like, all right, Dad, all right. Go ahead, Dad. You can leave now. Yeah. I'm done. You know, you told me already. I care. Yeah. Okay, we're done. You know, so those kind of things, like, you know, she's teaching me about myself. And through that, I'm learning patience. I'm learning to be more receptive to this human who was very interesting. Like, she's a very interesting girl. Reminds me a lot of myself. Yeah. A ton of myself.
I love that for you. And I love that in the moment when she is reacting, you're trying to find the root cause. And once you find the root cause, you identify and let her know that's still not okay and why, and just give her some guidance so in the future she can approach it differently. I think that's such a good approach and a good teaching moment in the moment. I don't know how well it goes every single time.
Don't always go well. You know, the thing is like, you know, it's like, you know, people be like, man, I ain't arguing with no kids. And you find yourself arguing with toddlers. Yeah. It's like, what? Hold on. Like, hold on.
All the time.
Hold on. What are we arguing? We're not supposed to be arguing, about this thing, right? So, like, let's not do that. And that's something that I've had to work on because I'm a debater. She's a debater. Yeah. Like, we going back and forth. But also, part of that is like, me and her mom in the very beginning, we established that she's supposed to have a voice. She has space to respond.
Yeah. Let's move on to growth. When we're talking about growth, what is one thing you and your co-parent do really well when it comes to raising your daughter? You said a lot of things already that are positive. What is the one thing that's really...
The one thing. We both her biggest fan.
Okay, love it already.
What I'm saying? Like we're really both of us are her biggest fan. You know, so I remember one time we was not in a good place, and she had a...
Hold on, when you say not in a good place, you and...
Me and my
co-partner.
my co-parent.
Parent.
My daughter had a piano recital, and I did not want to go. I didn't want to talk to nobody. I didn't want to be around. I was pissed. And I was like, but I want to see my baby play.
Yeah.
You know, and I photograph anytime she does something. So like, you know, I'm not acknowledging her mom. I'm moving past her and I'm taking photos and shit. I ain't even acknowledging my mom. Like, I'm not talking to nobody.
Right.
But I'm like, I want to see my baby play this piano. So like, cause I'm a fan. Like I'm a fan of the things that she enjoys, a fan of the things that she does well. That stuck out very poignant to me. But we're really both her biggest fan.
Yeah.
Like her mom is very cool too, cause her mom has her life, has our daughter's life documented.
In what way?
On the camera, on the phone since she was born. So, you know, my daughter knows herself since she was born.
Oh my God.
That shit is so cool. I used to think it was creepy, right? I'm like, man, that's creepy, dog. Like, dang, she's just gonna know herself. And now I'm like, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Because the way in which she's able to like reminisce, and they sit next to each other going through her camera roll. And randomly I'll just get 15 text messages, all of images and videos and this thing and this thing and this thing. And it keeps this record of memory for all of us. Like a scrapbook that we have on our phones.
Why haven't we had this conversation before I had kids?
I know. Because I would have told you don't do that shit. You know what I mean? Like, I would have been like, no, like, that shit is creepy, yo. You know, but, you know, and she was like, no, I want to have all of this for my baby. And like, and I think now I'm like, you got some more of them pictures.
Yeah.
Let me see her. You know, so like I think that's really, like, we're really like both her biggest fan.
Let me ask you, do you think Parker knows that or both of you are her biggest fan?
I think she's learning it.
Yeah.
As she's understanding like her role, her responsibility, and mostly around discipline. Like, I don't like you when I'm not getting what I want. Come on, that's disingenuous.
Yeah.
I still love you, but I'm just not happy that I'm not getting what I want. So, you know, modeling that kind of behavior, you know, with and for Parker is something that I think we both do well.
Yeah.
We all show up for her as best we can, you know, and every time that is required of us to.
Awesome. So let's talk about transitions and moving forward. How do you navigate changing dynamics? For example, new partners, and with the holidays coming up, the holidays.
So this family thing still runs true, right? Like, my daughter's mom's family is from Aliquippa, so another place in Pennsylvania. So one of the two holidays, Christmas or Thanksgiving, they go out there, and they've done that every year. But the other holiday, her mom will cook, or my mom will cook, or my brother will cook. Okay. Right? Somebody is going to cook. And who's inviting me for a plate is where we having Thanksgiving. And that's how we're doing it, right? So it could be at Parker's mom's house, could be at my mom's house, could be at my brother's house.
Okay. I know you all are only a year in, but is that one, do you feel like that's is it a family tradition? But then also, do you think you're going to continue to do that? Especially going back to my other example with the identifying another partner.
I think that is when it will get tricky. I'm always open to it. but I also know that could lead to contention. You know, my mom told me, she said, "That's my daughter."
Yeah.
I was like, "You're right," but I mean, that's cool. That's fine. You know, like you've built an affinity to this woman, right? And you could potentially build an affinity to somebody else, but you know her intimately, and you care for her the same way you would care for somebody that was your blood. So holidays are a little tricky, but generally, since I'm not never the one cooking, I'm just going to where the food. I'm going to where the food is, right? And wherever that food is. So when I get another partner, what is their traditions on the holidays, and how can I accommodate that? But I'm going to spend at least one of these holidays with Parker. So
So that being said, I know we're hypothetically speaking at this point. That would be something that you would put on the table as part of getting to know someone or in a relationship, to say, hey, I have a good co-parenting dynamic with my ex-partner, and it's really important for me to show up on one holiday out of the year.
I think that's too formal. My daughter's mom is my family.
Yeah.
Now again, you don't have to treat her like no sister. We don't, and it's not tight like that, So we're not talking every day and things like that. Like, we talk in regards to our daughter, but at the same time, I respect her as my family. So, can I convince or talk to my daughter's mom about having Parker spend part of her Christmas or part of some holiday with me if my partner isn't comfortable with that? I'm going to make my partner happy.
Right.
Like, I'm not going to just be like, well, F you, this is my family. No, that's not. I'm not fighting for it like that. But I do think it's important that I spend part of this holiday with my daughter, because since I'm not a big gift giver.
Yeah.
Right. So, time.
Yeah. So I was going to say, your love language is quality time.
Yeah, we spend time together. We do think, can we do something? That time might be spent actively with doing something with each other, or just in proximity with each other.
Yeah.
How interested or introduced is this new partner to my daughter by the time this holiday rolls around? When did I meet you? Did I meet you in October, or did I meet you in February? I don't know. That's cross that bridge when we get there. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to speak something that I'm not even sure of yet, or what that dynamic will be. My new partner might be like, I think that's a beautiful thing. I want to be part of that too. Or, me and my ex-husband do the same thing. You know what I mean? So
I love it. Maybe we'll revisit this conversation once, like you said, once we get to that point. So, building on transitions and moving forward, this is a long question. So, take it piece by piece, however you need to. What does co-parenting with intention look like in your co-parenting partnership? And how do you ensure both of you keep hope and perspective to ensure you keep your daughter's best interest at the center?
That's a very transactional question. I'm not keeping nothing at the center. She's at the center.
Yeah.
Like, she sits there all the time, automatically, right? So if we're not intentional, she's still in the center. Now she's not attended to a certain kind of way. We're not being intentional individually with her, right? Because, again, our interactions with her are independent now. They're not collective unless we got like a dentist appointment, or we're going to something that's for her together, a dance recital, so to speak. So if we both understand that the center is her, right? We're family because of her.
Yeah.
If we didn't have her, we wouldn't be family no more. We would just be ex-partners.
Yeah.
But because of her, we have this more familial relationship that allows us to show up in a unified way. And I'm not saying that's going to work for everybody, right? Like, this idea of family don't always work for my daughter's mom. This is a me thing, right? And I'm not putting it on nobody. This is the way I choose to go about this relationship. Because not only do I care for her, I care for the way in which my daughter knows that I care for her, and I think that's very, very important. Like, I care for your mom. She does, yes, you should listen to her, absolutely. So I never want my daughter to feel like I feel some way about her mom.
Or diminish her mom's existence or what she brings to the table.
Exactly. So what is a collective, right? A collective is individuals who believe in the same thing, right? But it's still, each individual has to make the choice to believe in that thing. So if I as an individual and my daughter's mom as an individual decide that our daughter is the center of our connected universe, then it behooves us to be intentional about how we show up in that connected universe, right? While we still have our own separate universes, we don't share, a life together anymore. We share a child now, and a child only.
Such good perspective. I can appreciate it. Just shows a level of maturity on your end.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What are some tools and resources that have helped you and your family navigate the co-parenting journey? For example, is there an app like Jam Family Calendar that you're using? And for our listeners who don't know what Jam Family Calendar is, it's a calendar app that two sisters have created to really just make it much easier to organize and navigate life as a family, whatever your family dynamic may look like. So just wanted to share that. If you're looking for a calendar app that makes life a little bit easier, consider it. But I'll let Steve talk about it a little bit more.
Gratefully, the school uses Class Dojo.
Okay.
And Class Dojo keeps us both abreast on scholastic stuff. We text each other often, so I-message maybe. We don't have a shared calendar. I think that's a little intrusive to have a shared calendar with your ex-partner. Even if it is around the child, remember a date and put it on your calendar, right? As opposed to sharing. This calendar, because also it's like, y'all not together no more. And it could be intrusive. To be like, damn, I don't want you to know what my calendar is like. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So it's a conversation, knowing your co-parent and just talking about it. Okay. That's fair.
But I'm pretty sure that I'm sure there are resources or like apps and things like that are out there that can help people navigate how to best stay connected with their co-parent if things are more contentious than what my relationship with my co-parent is. But I'm welcome those kind of things because relationships can always change, right? I would like to think that we have a good handle on it today. And tomorrow. But the day after that, maybe we don't have the tightest handle on it after that. You know what I'm saying? But I would like to think that, since we do have a good grasp on it right now, and as Parker gets older, we do it a little bit better, as the child matures a little bit more. So, not so much child rearing. Like, mommy, I need you kind of thing. It's a little bit easier to navigate the relationship because now we're having this relationship amongst the whole of us as opposed to just me and her. You know what I mean? And it's not always good because, it means you're talking too much around the kid and they take that stuff with them the way that they do. But it does ensure that everybody on the same page, right? So I didn't necessarily have to, I traveled down here for the interview, so I didn't have to tell her mom, P, I ain't gonna pick you up tomorrow. Nana's gonna get you. And I told her, I've been telling her that since last week. Oh, Dad, you're going away tomorrow, aren't you? Would you consider your mother a tool or resource? Yeah. Okay. No apps and things like that. But we definitely have a village. We absolutely have a village. And that village is my mom. That village is the building that they live in, which is... Tell me a little bit more about that. So it's a co-op apartment, right? It has mostly older population. Okay. So, and my mom is very involved in this population. And by default, Parker's involved in this population. So everybody love her. She's hey, this, hey, such and such. Mr. Richard always got $5 for her. I need Mr. Richard in my life. Mr. Richard always got $5 for her. She helps with she's involved with the making of copies. And because my mom do a lot for the co-op itself. very integral part within the space itself. But she's a Valley Green girl. You know, almost like the Golden Girls.
She's the mascot of the co-op.
They said that to her before, and I like the mascot.
Yeah.
But that's what she is, right? And she supplanted my niece, who used to be that, you know. But my niece never lived there. She would just visit with Nana. Now my daughter actually lives there, so she's very, very integrated. That's a village. The dance class that she goes to, another village, right? Her family in Aliquippa, another village.
Where's Aliquippa?
Aliquippa is right outside of Pittsburgh.
Okay.
So Western Pennsylvania. You know, and that's a very small, tight-knit town that, you know, Parker's the belle of the ball when she goes there, but it's also a lot freer when she goes there too. So with me at home, we got to be more cautious.
Yeah.
You know, Dad, I'm gonna go outside and play with Ish. What time is it? It's getting dark. No, you're not. Whereas in Aliquippa, Pap let her run.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So she has a level of freedom. There are other more younger kids. You know, one of the reasons my daughter is on the mature side is because she's had all adult conversations her whole life, and I've never ever dumbed it down for her. You know, people are like, why you talk to her like that? Well, this is the way I talk, and I only know how to talk one way. Similar to how I picked up language from my mom, she knows words in context, so she don't even have to know how to spell it. She know what it means. Yeah. Right. So, all right, what does that mean? I forget what word we was talking about the other day, and I asked her what it means, and she gave me a rough understanding of what this word means. I was like, well, you understand that in context. That's cool. That's a good way to understand. That means that what you comprehending what you're reading in relation to the other words that's around it. But she's also very observant. Yeah. You know, she's very inquisitive. She's very like almost kind of skittish, but like just where is everything?
Yeah,
you know, what's going on? So
I'm gonna send one of my twins to Parker. She needs to coach him a little bit.
Gather him.
He is just in his own world, looking all over the place.
She'll gather him, because in our environment, you do have to have some awareness. Yeah. Because if you don't, like she did, like early in the conversation, I talked about the man. That made me proud, because in some situations I'm like, damn, she's so green. Yeah. You know, and in my more urban situations, I'm like, she's so damn. I don't want her to be taken advantage of. But in other situations, I'm like, and
I don't think it really fully depends on where you live. I think you need to coach your kids. I don't even know if the word coaching is the right word. They should have awareness of their environment. Because you can be in Pleasantville and somebody can drive by and approach you. So I think, you know, bringing that and instilling that in your kids, there's going to be a date. They're going to be in a situation, whether they're 5 or 18, you can be taken advantage of at any point in your life. So I think that's
as
so
parents,
important.
we got to realize that we don't spend most of the times with our kids. Yeah. Right? They just like your parents didn't spend most of their time with you. You know, the world trains them. Yeah. Their social circle trains them. You provide a foundation in the first, like Parker, like, you know, 8 to 9, 10 years of life. And, you know, they already have their own personality. You see that in their infancy stages, right? You see like, well, no matter what I do, that's going to be this person. Right. And then you try to instill ways of being. I call them bumpers or guardrails. That they got to operate in, but they have to navigate the world. Yeah. You know, and they have to navigate that world in preschool, that you're not there with them. They have to navigate that world in kindergarten, in which you're not there with them, you know, so forth and so on all the way through. And then as they get more mature and assume more responsibility, we're talking high school and things like that, you don't see your kids you don't spend a whole bunch of time with your kids unless your kid want to spend time with you, you know. And I don't know many teenagers that just like, yo, I want to hang out with my dad today. Yeah. If the opportunity is present to do something else, like so I think we got to understand that we're preparing humans for the world that they're going to be living in. Agreed. That you really, really, really are not living in. You don't have their context. You don't know what 6'7" is. Like, you don't know what these.
Oh, we have put meaning behind 6'7" in our house.
That's like putting the meaning behind the word Joan in Philly. Ain't no meaning behind 6'7". What does 6'7" mean?
Well, you know, my kids have a speech delay, and one of the things is they have chronic mouth breathing. So instead of saying close your mouth, we just say 6'7", and they close their mouth.
Oh,
Learn something.
6'7" has a meaning now.
Yeah, it does.
It means shut up. No, so.
Stop it.
It means close your mouth. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
You're wrong.
6'7".
You're wrong. You are so wrong for that.
Okay. I'm going to tell my daughter 6'7". That means be quiet.
Okay. You have now changed the context, but we'll allow for that. But what I want to say, so to our listeners, from that question, what I gathered is identify your village, a strong village that can help with supporting your child. Not raise your child, but support your child. Because to Steven's point, we're not always going to be around our kids. So you want to make sure that they have the understanding of what is safe, what does that look like, so they are amongst people that are not taking advantage of them.
And they won't let themselves be taken advantage of.
Yep.
Because that's a lot of it. Standing up for yourself, speaking up for yourself, and not following so much, right? You're like, you're trying to blend with hierarchy, but at the same time, like, this is something that her mom really instills in her. You, your own person. Mm-hmm. You're the best version of yourself, and to stop being a follower. Mm-hmm. Like, forget following. You're dynamic. Mm-hmm. You're the one that's amazing, right? You're the one with this breadth of brilliant experience that your parents have, that you have by default, that your counterparts simply don't have.
Can I borrow your co-parent? I need her to tell me these things on occasion.
Oh, well, yeah, call up. Call up. You got to number it up.
I know, right? I want you to close us out with one final thing, which is, what is one piece of advice you would give someone just starting their co-parenting journey?
And this is just for the parents themselves. It's very hard to co-parent when you're still intertwined in physical relationship. It's not a co-parent. Y'all still together. If you entwined physically, there needs to be understood boundaries around separation.
Your guardrails you love.
Yeah, like there has to be some boundaries, right? Like there has to be, because that gray space is unhealthy. The gray space within the understood boundary of us co-parents is different. The gray space in your relationship is unhealthy, because now you're showing up in an unhealthy way around the kid, not necessarily for the kid, but around it, right? They don't understand your dynamic.
Right.
So when the kid don't understand the dynamic, it make it difficult to like, okay, well, that's weird. How many stories have you heard of childhood trauma when like, well, I ain't know how my dad in my relationship was and things like that. And I think it's important, once there is finality through separation, you move out the house or whatever the case may be, you can't then be, unless y'all plan on getting back together, reconciling, working things out. And this is something that she had to instruct me, with. Like, it's not me being like, yo, no, I don't want that. But at the same time, it's necessary. And in addition to, defining their relationship and creating those boundaries, choose peace. Like, really, really choose peace as best you can, the way that you two understand it collectively. And understand that the child is the most important thing, not your feelings, not your money, not none of those things. Is really how we show up collectively for the child or the children that we collectively made together. We just aren't together anymore. Yeah. But we are still here for our kids. So that would be the one piece of advice is, create boundaries and really, really actively choose peace. Yeah. And stick to the boundaries. Stick to the boundaries, for sure. Okay, well, Steve, I just want to thank you for your time. And I want to give you a little gift so you can commemorate your time on the Talk Unmentionables podcast. So, I get a gift? Yeah, you get a gift. Oh, I should have looked in that bag earlier. You can take a look. You can open it. I would like to open it. I like gifts. What, got some socks? Yes. Oh, yeah. So I hope you enjoy them. I guess I can wear these with sneakers. You'll figure it out, I'm sure. I don't dress professionally anymore. Okay, well, just a joke. You're going to figure this out. I'm going to figure this. Thank you. Thank you very much, You're Deniece. Welcome. Thank you for having me on. It's a privilege to be your first guest on this new endeavor for you. I'm hella proud of you. I'm excited for this journey as a convener of conversation. Yeah, that's really, really cool. And thank you for allowing me to share my perspective on the challenging notion of co-parenting. Very challenging notion.
And I mean, I just want to, again, thank you for showing up so authentically and having the honesty and humility around talking about something that can sometimes be so hard. The fact that you share the messy, the complicated, but also the good that can come out of this with keeping your daughter at the center of it all just speaks to who you are as a person and what your co-parenting journey looks like. So I can't say enough how important that is. To our listeners, especially those of you just beginning your co-parenting journey or those of you in the thick of it, co-parenting isn't easy, but it's possible. With patience, respect, and care, you can create an environment where your child feels safe, loved, and supported. No matter your relationship history, it takes two. Two people to communicate openly and honestly, two people who are committed to the process and emotionally mature enough to put the child at the center. As we close today's episode, I want to say thank you for joining the Talk Unmentionables podcast. These conversations aren't always comfortable, but they push us into the gray spaces that we often avoid talking about. And that's exactly why I created this podcast, to explore and shine light on unmentionable topics, to foster authentic conversations inspiring professional development, personal growth, and meaningful connection. Stay tuned for the next episode and visit talkunmentionablesmedia.com to learn about my consulting services. Until next time. Whether you're seeking guidance for your business, your team, or your own professional development and personal growth, I would love to work with you one-on-one to help you achieve your goals and bring your vision to life.